Alright, sit down and pay attention. I'm going to show you how you've been screwing up your love life and how to fix it. But if you're just going to skip through this video, do yourself a favor and don't even start watching. Seriously, what's the point of seeing only part of it and continuing to make the same mistakes? Have you ever wondered why some guys get treated like trash by women, while others have them running after them like crazy? If you think this is just about money or looks, sorry, but you're more lost than a blind man in a shooting range. Want the truth? I know plenty of good-looking guys who can't get anyone, and other rich guys who only serve as walking ATMs for women. So, what's the secret, genius?
It's simple. Men who value themselves are masters at being indifferent. Most men crumble at the slightest hint of female attention, becoming doormats, while high-value men know exactly how to keep a distance that drives women insane. That's right. Ignoring a woman makes her even more interested. They need to feel desired, and when you don't give a damn, guess what? You stand out in a crowd of desperate men. So, let's dive into the 8 reasons why men who respect themselves practice indifference and leave women biting their nails with curiosity. Number 1. Stop being a coward and face things head-on. Men who know their worth don't sit around like you, waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky and fix their love life. No, these men go out and make things happen. They're not afraid to approach a woman, start a conversation, and assert themselves. They're not scared of a no because they understand it's part of the game. Luck doesn't knock on the doors of the insecure, my friend. This bold attitude puts them light years ahead of the cowards who tremble at the mere thought of being rejected. They know you have to put yourself out there and take calculated risks. Staying in the comfort zone only serves one purpose: to keep you exactly where you are. Stepping out of that bubble not only increases your chances of getting what you want, but also shows any woman that he's not a zero. He's a guy who knows what he wants and goes after it. Courage and confidence are aphrodisiacs. If you're squirming with fear of rejection, understand this. The men who play for real are already on the next level, while you're stuck in your own fears. These men don't wait for anyone's approval. They do what they have to do, period. That's what makes them real magnets of attraction, while others walk with their heads down, accepting crumbs of attention. So, you want to stand out? Stop asking for permission and start acting like you already own the game. Number 2, stop being a walking like button. Nowadays, women are swimming in free attention they get from all directions, especially on social media. It's a rain of likes, compliments, and DMs from guys begging for a simple smile. And you go there and join the crowd of desperate men thinking you'll be different? How about you stop this nonsense? High-value men don't throw their attention around like loose change. They know their attention is worth gold, and don't distribute it to just any woman that appears. These men know how to light the flame of interest and then step back. Exactly. They create curiosity but don't run after them like fools, replying to every message at lightning speed. And guess what happens? Women start wondering why he's not as available, and suddenly, they're seeking his approval like it's the Holy Grail. While you're wasting time and energy on endless compliments and likes all over the place, they're prioritizing interactions that truly matter. No empty chit-chat or endless flattery. These men prefer few words with impact over a sea of meaningless praise. Why? Because they know that mystery is attractive. They leave women wondering, why isn't he giving me the same attention as all the other guys? And that's how they become intriguing and desirable. While you get lost in the crowd of worshippers, they're there, untouchable, making women chase after them to get a glimpse of that attention you hand out like free samples. So, the lesson is simple. You want to be valued. Stop giving so much value to those who don't deserve it. Number 3, stop seeing yourself as a nobody and create some presence. You know what's wrong with many guys out there? They see women as if they were unattainable goddesses and see themselves as mere mortals who have to beg for attention. High-value men don't even come close to having this pathetic mentality. They see women as equals, not as unattainable prizes. And where does this attitude come from?
from a confidence and charisma that only those who truly know themselves can have. It's pointless to try to play the brave guy with stupid behaviors or by showing off.
True courage is the one you don't even need to verbalize because it's stamped on the way you walk, look, and even in silence.
High-value men invest heavily in themselves and know they are self-sufficient. They're not interested in superficial charms because they've already outgrown that. They know they don't need external validation to feel complete. When you have a calm confidence, not that forced facade of self-assurance, you automatically exude charisma. This creates a presence that doesn't go unnoticed. Women perceive it, and you know what? They get intrigued. Because while other guys are lost, drooling over any smile, these men are firm, unshakable, with an aura of, I know who I am, and I don't need to prove anything to anyone. And that's precisely what attracts women. They feel secure and even challenged near someone who isn't chasing their approval, but at the same time sees them and respects them as equals. Want to be that guy? Cultivate true courage and charisma, not that cheap bravado that crumbles at the first no. Number 4. Stop applauding little drama shows and value yourself, man. You know that situation where she starts an unnecessary drama, and instead of putting an end to it, you join in and even try to calm things down? Well, that's exactly how you lose respect. Men who have a sense of their own value don't give credit to low-level behavior. They have clear boundaries, and when something crosses the line, they simply walk away. No arguments, no drama, no explanations. These men don't reward childish behavior with attention. Just because someone is screaming, stomping their feet, and trying to get attention doesn't mean you have to get involved. They maintain a calm and firm posture as if to say, I don't have time for this nonsense. And you know what happens? They elevate the perception of their self-sufficiency and maturity through the roof. Those who don't let themselves be affected by small dramas automatically stand out. High-value men understand that respect is a two-way street. They demand reciprocity, and that's non-negotiable. When you refuse to dive into toxic dynamics or petty arguments, not only do you preserve your peace, but you also show that you value healthy relationships. And guess what? Women notice that. By refusing to take part in any ridiculous show, these men create an environment of harmony and stability. A place where there's room for genuine connection without manipulation or games. Want to be that kind of man? Then stop giving a stage to those who don't deserve the show. If she wants attention, she'd better come with respect and reciprocity, because you're not a clown to be clapping for her drama performances. If you're tired of being the idiot she walks all over, accepting crumbs and still being kicked to the curb whenever she feels like it, then wake up. It's time to stop swallowing disrespect and flip the script on this dirty game. Head over to the description and grab the digital book I've left for you. After reading it, you'll learn how to truly be a challenge, never bow down again, and put any woman in her place without mercy. Enough of being trampled on and discarded like you're worthless. If you want respect, then start acting like a man who demands it. Number 5, stop being a slacker and get off your ass. Do you really think sitting around all day waiting for someone's message is going to make you a high-value man? Wake up! Men who know their potential don't waste time on nonsense. They don't get carried away by cheap distractions and have something called purpose. And what does that mean? It means they have a life mission that goes far beyond chasing after a relationship. These guys channel their energy into activities that actually matter. Personal growth, professional development, improving their physical condition, anything that pushes them to constantly evolve. While you're worrying about whether she's going to respond or not, they're focused on becoming a better version of themselves every day. Because for them, a relationship is a complement, not the center of their universe. Men with clear goals are naturally more attractive. They radiate a magnetism that comes from the certainty of knowing what they want and being willing to work for it. And you know what's the most ironic part? When you focus on being a real man, dedicated to your own development and success, you stop chasing after women. And guess who starts chasing after you? So, want some golden advice? Stop living your life like a purposeless side character and go find something that drives you, that pushes you forward.
a passion, a dream, an ambitious goal. Because in the end, the only thing that stands out more than a determined man is one who's already reaping the fruits of his own efforts. Be a complete man, with a life full of meaning and accomplishments. That way, anyone who wants to join you will be welcome. But those who don't want to keep up, well, let them go bother someone else. Number 6. Stop being an emotional leech and learn to be alone. You know what the big problem is with many men out there? They think they need a relationship to validate their existence. They live as if they were only complete when they have someone. And honestly, there's nothing more pathetic than that. High-value men? They're different. They don't need company to feel whole. Solitude isn't a punishment. It's a privilege because they know themselves deeply and understand that the right relationship is one that complements, not one that fills emotional voids. This kind of independence is a true magnet for attraction. Women can sense from a mile away when a guy is self-sufficient and doesn't need to beg for attention or approval. That's rare and, for that very reason, extremely seductive. Instead of chasing external validation, these men are busy living according to their own principles. They have goals and values so firmly established that they don't bend or mold themselves for anyone. And when a man is at peace with himself, you know what happens? He becomes a challenge. It's not just any smile or look that's going to make him melt. He's not looking for someone to fill a void. He's looking for someone who adds value, who contributes to a life that's already full and complete. That's what makes women intrigued. How can he not need me to be happy? So, if you want to be seen as a real man, first, learn to be happy on your own. If you can't stand your own company, how do you expect anyone else to? Work on your self-sufficiency. Stop clinging emotionally to others, and you'll see how everything changes. Because, in the end, the one who doesn't need anyone to be happy is exactly the one everyone wants to have around. Number 7. Stop talking like a teenager and act like a real man. You know what repels any woman worth having? A guy who talks like a teenager, full of LOL and emojis all over the place. Seriously? Do you really think that gives off any sense of maturity? High-value men are direct and to the point, with no beating around the bush. They don't have time to waste on empty chatter and don't need to mask their words with smiley faces. When they say something, it's because they truly have something to say. And guess what? That's what separates the boys from the men. These guys embody a masculine energy that's reflected in the way they communicate. No vague phrases, no hints, no fear of offending. They say what they think and that's it. It's not about being rude. It's about being transparent. When you're clear about what you want and feel, you eliminate any room for misunderstandings or games of interpretation. Additionally, men of value understand that trivial conversations build nothing. They seek interactions that truly matter, that add value, not those meaningless little talks about the weather or what someone posted on Instagram. Their approach is straightforward because they know that trust and respect are forged in honesty. If you want to be that kind of man, stop measuring your words or hiding behind silly jokes and exaggerated emojis. Be firm. Say what needs to be said and that's it. It's not hard. Just be clear, authentic, and have the courage to stand by what you say. Because in the end, women of value don't want to guess what you're thinking. They want someone who expresses himself like a man, without beating around the bush and without folding just to please. Number 8. Stop being a pathetic time waster and get your life on track. It's time for you to face reality and take a harsh slap of truth. Your time is the one thing you'll never get back.
And look at what you're doing with it!
Wasting it on last-minute dates, canceling commitments, and turning your life upside down just because she texted you at 10 p.m. wanting to see you.
Wake up, man!
Men who know the value of their time don't go running off to please anyone. They have priorities, goals, and responsibilities. And those who don't understand that? Well, they can stay behind. These men have the discipline of a damn Swiss watch. If they promise something to themselves, they follow through. If they have a commitment, nothing and no one interferes. Because guess what? They know the only way to build something of value is by respecting their own time and dedicating themselves to what really matters. While you're there twisting yourself around and rearranging your schedule just to please, these men are focused on becoming the best version of themselves. And there's more. They're not just disciplined with their own time, they respect the time of others too. If they set a time, they show up. If they make a plan, they stick to it. And that's exactly what makes them not just desirable but essential in a relationship. They're not playthings you can move around at will. They're men of value, with clear priorities and goals. So, do you want to keep being the fool who drops everything to run after a chance with someone? Or are you finally going to understand that if you don't value your own time, no one else will? Get some self-respect and stop wasting your life on trivialities. Put your responsibilities first and build something that truly matters.
And if someone doesn't get it or respect that,
Simple. Move on. The only thing you don't have time for is to be a purposeless doormat. The reality is clear and brutal. Either you value yourself and put your own life first, or you'll keep being that guy without direction, begging for scraps of attention. There's no middle ground. You can't demand respect if you constantly trample on your own dignity. You can't expect recognition if you don't see yourself as someone worthy. You know what you deserve when you act like a desperate loser? Nothing. And that's exactly what you'll keep getting if you don't change this pathetic attitude. So, you either decide today to stop playing the victim and start acting like a real man, or you might as well shut this video and stay stuck in the same cycle of failure, being trampled, ignored, and underestimated by everyone. The choice is yours, but let me tell you something. The world has no mercy for losers. It'll chew you up and spit you out without pity. And you know what's left for those who don't learn to stand up for themselves? Nothing but regret and a trail of missed opportunities. That's why it's time to take control of your life, set your priorities straight, and get rid of anyone who doesn't respect your time and decisions. Stop chasing after people and start building something that really has value. Because at the end of the day, nobody respects someone who lets themselves be trampled on. Be the man who not only knows what he wants, but won't settle for anything less than what he truly deserves. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to keep being the same weakling you've always been? Or are you finally going to face reality and start valuing yourself? The choice is yours. But remember this. Every second wasted is one step closer to failure. The truth is simple. Ignoring a woman isn't about being cruel or indifferent just for the sake of it. It's about reclaiming your value, putting yourself first, and not letting anyone, absolutely anyone, make you doubt your worth. It's about being a man who knows what he wants and won't settle for crumbs of attention or respect. When you master the psychology of indifference, you stop being part of the crowd of desperate guys and become someone who truly stands out. Someone who commands respect, who naturally attracts, and who doesn't need to beg for anyone's validation. Remember this. Women want a man who values himself and doesn't crumble at the first smile. They want someone who's a challenge, not an easy toy to manipulate. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep living like a desperate fool? Or are you finally going to become the man you were always meant to be? Choose wisely and act accordingly. See you next time. And remember, don't be the clown who lets himself be humiliated for fake applause. Be the man who imposes himself, who acts, and who makes it clear that with him, you don't play games.